Hi, my name is Frank and I go to Limburg High School. I'm a rising sophomore. So my project is the CV security camera, which uses computer vision to do face detection rather than something like motion detection. This is my final milestone, and basically in this I put everything together in a case, made it so that everything runs by itself when I power it up, and also I added just a few features to the web interface so that it's easy for me to make changes to the code in the future. Yeah, in terms of what I enjoyed, I really enjoyed being able to problem solve all of the difficulties I encountered on the projects, whether it be in writing the code, working with OpenCV, or just working with the Linux operating system on the Raspberry Pi. I think it just gives me a lot more hands-on experience and also just knowledge of how to solve similar problems in the future. Also, that was partially where I struggled with especially different, I guess, nuances of just configuration-wise. There are a lot of different nuances, especially with regards to the Raspberry Pi and just the operating system, Linux, having permissions, configuration stuff, libraries installed, dependency nightmare. I did go through a little bit, but yeah. Overall, I think this project turned out really great. I'm really happy with the results. So yeah.
Awesome.
So now I have my full final pages together, as you can see over here, and I just have the power cable already plugged in. This is a standard micro USB cable. Over here we have a little wing nut assembly, which you can later on fit a metal bracket onto so that you can mount it onto the wall, for example. And power up is pretty simple. I've made it so that if you power it up, you might actually be able to see, if you look inside of this tiny hole here, there's that little indicator. It's flashing over there. And we just wait a little bit and then it starts up a server. So I'm gonna wait like maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then it should start up the server. So right now it's still offline. Okay, so as you can see, we just started everything up, and there's a decently speedy feed. Initially, sometimes the feed just freezes, but generally, if you refresh the page, it'll just fix it. Also, down here, if you notice, we have a few device parameters that you can change. So your the device name, and then there's also the MAC address, which obviously you can't change. And you can see also, if you notice up in the feed, there are occasional false positives. This is something that does happen sometimes, and this is something that I aim to hopefully improve sometime in the future. Other than that, we have just power off and check for updates. These are features I added so that if I wanted to make any improvements with it in the future, for example, like adding some more functionality, adding some features, adding some code, it wouldn't be too difficult to do that. I wouldn't have to take everything apart and then write the code onto the Raspberry Pi and then, yeah, just do that. I just be able to push this one button, and basically what it does is it makes the Raspberry Pi automatically pull from the Git repository that contains my code. So I can just push it to GitHub, and then I can just quick check for updates and it'll just update itself. I've also just demoed it earlier with this kind of detection notice. Whenever it detects like an object like that, it will send an email and then wait 3 minutes before it sends it again. So as you can see, I have my face here and it's detecting that pretty well. You can see the blocks around my face. Yeah, so I think that is about it for my project.